it's Cassie and today we're going to be talking about what to buy in 2022 Autumn-Winter edition. I know that it may not feel like it because we are in the midst of summer, but we are slowly but surely hurtling towards the end of the year, okay? The colder months. And I am here to help you prepare. That may be to mentally prepare you for what you're going to be seeing more of, or you may want to prep now. You may want to buy the goods now so that come autumn, winter, you're ready. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're going to love it here. So head on there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Guys, are you ready? We're very close to 100,000 as well, so I didn't smash that subscribe. Okay, all of the items that I will be talking about, any specifics, will be linked below. Alright, so the first category of items, BBE Big Bag Energy. Okay, so once again, I have mentioned this in other videos. This does not mean that BBE and TBE cannot coincide together, Big Bag Energy, Tiny Bag Energy. They can happily coexist. This is definitely happening. What we're seeing is a shift towards the comically large, shall we say. And this may be in just like straight up new bag designs from designers and they just happen to be huge, or larger versions of styles that already exist from these houses. Part of the love for TBE is this ridiculousness, this how like ridiculously small it is, right? And it's the same thing for the larger size. How much of a conversation starter can this be because of the size of the bag? A couple of examples that we've got here. Let's look at something very new, just launched, the Balenciaga Crush bag, right? Comes in a more normal, easy, everyday size, but there is the large version. It's an exaggerated version of the hourglass, you know, maybe even looks a little bit impractical with how big it is, you know, this is what we're seeing. Saint Laurent, the Icare, that bag is sold out in all of the stores. I think now they're doing a restock online, so you know what, there's a bit of a chance. But again, it looks ridiculously large. If I were to pretzel myself, maybe I could fit myself in there, you know? It's kind of ridiculous. But again, this is definitely a shift that we're seeing more of, and it says something to the fact that these things are selling out. A little bit more BBE happening on the horizon. If you want to buy a big bag, now is the time. The next category of items to buy for fall winter 2022 are platform boots. Now, we know that platform shoes have been really enjoying their time in the limelight over the last year or so, mainly in a pump situation, little Mary Jane, something like that. But what with the colder months ahead of us, platform trend is transitioning into more boots, right? So if you even take something like the Versace Medusa Avitas, I'm convinced I've got that pronunciation wrong, but I don't know what the right pronunciation is. They've done that in a boot version that makes you look like Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Nothing wrong with that. She was an icon before her time. They're definitely doing that. Valentino have come out with the Tango boots, the boot version of their very popular Mary Janes that have been selling out. Even on flat boots, Max Mara is doing their winter boot that's got, you know, quite an exaggerated sole. This is not necessarily new because we've seen this sort of platform boot situation happening for the last couple of years with something like the Prada Monolith. I've seen more of that boot than I have of all the boots I own, to be very honest with you. But that's another way that we're seeing it. Even Chanel, in their boot offerings, we're seeing platforms. So if you're in the market for a winter boot, maybe you want to consider a platform version. This next category is a category I have dubbed worm clothing. Don't ask me why, it just makes me think of a worm inching along, ruching. Ruching is really having a moment. Do not let this scare you because I really think it can be very flattering for a lot of people, right? We're seeing this in lots of different ways, namely things like dresses, skirts, tops, and a lot of designers are buying into the ruching trend, okay? So if you want to jump on the ruching train, there is a designer with a style that's going to suit you. Let me just rifle through a few of them. Alex Perry, right? If you want something tight, is delivering many a ruched moment in more neutrals, in more of a pop. Those options are there for you. I bought a ruched dress earlier on this year. Haven't had the chance to wear it because things got a bit hotter before I had the chance. But Helmut Lang does a lovely V-neck ruching down the sides moment as well. Veronica Beard, Lots of ruching, lots of dresses, definitely more of like a feminine, a little bit more girly brand. Even Isabelle Marant, half that collection is ruched. If you want a little bit of, you know, cool French girl style, Balenciaga has come out with a couple of mini dresses with a bit of odd ruching. Of course, it's Balenciaga, it's got to be a bit odd. Different angles we've got going on there. Mugler, lot of ruching in the dresses. Norma Kamali, generally she's one step ahead, she knows what she's up to. And a very kind of new brand, or a brand that's at least very new to me, Fancy Club. It's very kind of like Gen Z. Heavy ruching, very cute. Definitely have a look if that's your vibe. If you love a Y2K moment, take a look. But yes, much ruche, much worm, go enjoy. Speaking of Y2K, prepare for more Y2K inspired bags. We're seeing this a lot, whether we're in like bag styles or very specific like elements of designs that are just like, oh my gosh, this transports me straight into the realm of Lindsay, Brittany and Paris in the front and back of that sodding car, you know? Louis Vuitton's new, I think it's called the Maxi Multi-Pochette Accessoire. Very Y2K, this is from the Fall in Love collection. And it's almost like very Murakami looking with the sort of printing of the monogram on there, even the colours that it comes in. This bag, even with like the vachetta leather trims and the buckle, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm this close from downloading all my songs on LimeWire on my little iPod Shuffle. I was a Shuffle girl for a very long time. But anyway, with some of these very nostalgic designs, it gives you the opportunity to work it into whatever your style is now. Especially if you lived through Y2K, but you still have a bit of that like little nostalgia within the piece. Another new Louis Vuitton bag that's just dropped, the Cité. Again, there's something about this sort of long strap shoulder bag, only a shoulder bag, no conversion in there, that is extremely of that time, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It gives a bit of a vintage vibe, but then if you look at something like the Prada Symbol bag, I can't find this online, but I tried it on in store, so I'll insert some footage. Again, it's that long drop shoulder strap that gives that very early 2000s moment that I enjoy, but the way it's done is kind of very modern. Fendi came out with the O-Lock bag. Again, only a shoulder bag. And if you want something very Y2K, okay, like bordering on Claire's accessories Y2K, go to Blue Marine, right? You can get little fluffy handbags there and all of that, and you can really live your best Y2K moments. So the next category is a category that's always a winner to buy for the autumn winter seasons, right? Logo knitwear. But what I want to say here is keep in the back of your minds of different types of knitwear. I've got some examples for you, and make sure to get pieces, if you do want to get them, that you can rework over and over and over again in your collection. What I'm trying to say is, don't just buy a black sweater that says Givenchy across the top, right? We have some different options. I mean, if you want to do that, do it. Do it, live your best life. But I'm just saying, we can do it in ways that are a little bit more unexpected. For example, if you want a very kind of like logo sweater, Loewe has some great ones where the anagram is sort of all over. It's a little bit different. The Loewe anagram is very easy to match with. It doesn't take away from the rest of the outfit. If you've got a hell of a big budget, there's a reason why the Chanel like CC cardigan that's like falling CCs, it's like snowing little CCs. Is it a beautiful cardigan? Yes. And if somebody bought that for me, I would do that sodding justice. But that's a hell of a lot of money for a sodding cardigan that moths may or may not eat. Obviously, some popular ones that are popular every year. The Balenciaga cardigan that's got Balenciaga all over it. Gucci does cardigans like this as well, depending on your style. Knitwear, you really can't go wrong. The next one, mesh bodysuits. We've really gone from both ends of the spectrum here. Try not to let this scare you, because it did me for a moment. Let's keep in the back of our minds layering. But there's a few ways that we're really seeing this. Obviously, we see this a lot with a brand like Mugler. They've been doing this since they've sort of had their new creative director. We've been seeing a lot of bodysuits that have mesh involved, illusion. I love it. David Copperfield, Liberace, rabbit out of the hat. But was Liberace a magician? I think he was more of a performer. David Blaine. Okay. Also a brand like David Comer, the Flames one, the Sun in Flames. I'm obsessed, she's on the wish list, I love her. Okay? I just think that these pieces obviously by themselves look great. You just do that, you do a skirt or you do that and some trousers, whatever, good to go, right? But also layered, I think it gives an element of surprise, something a little bit different. If you put that with a blazer, then you just get this sort of like mesh peeking through situation. And I just really enjoy that. Another way that we're seeing this is very Liberty X. Okay, if you know, you know. Full on, you know, like the mesh. I used to buy those like what were they? Because they weren't arm warmers, because they weren't doing anything. They were like arm tights that were like fishnet, right? We all did it, we all did. They're doing that, but like in a full bodysuit, and yes, people are going to buy it and it's going to look cool, and I'm going to be like, could I maybe? And then I may fall down the trap and buy it and then realise that actually I can't. But I'm just saying, that is also an option of mesh bodysuits that we're seeing a lot of, and I think that we'll be seeing more of. Next section, I don't know what the technical term for this bag style is, so help me out if you know. I'm going to just call them grab bags, because I just think grab bag. Not much creativity in here. I'm kind of understanding why Prada names the bags as it does, but anyway. So we are seeing a lot of this sort of, I know some people think it looks very free gift with purchase, it looks like a makeup bag. It's basically bags where the handle is integrated into the bag. The rise of the Bottega Veneta Jodie for the last 2 years. Louis Vuitton has just come out with the Why Not bag. The Era Moon bag, Loewe's QB bag, right? Chanel had quite a few of these in their last collection. But I think what we're going to be seeing a bit more of, aside from this style in general, is this style that also has an aspect of a crossbody conversion. Era, for example, released their Moon bag with a crossbody strap. The Louis Vuitton Why Not has a crossbody strap. Bottega just released the Mini Jodie with a chain as well. The next one is a sodding colour. Valentino pink. My theory is that Valentino saw Bottega's Bottega green and was like, and Valentino pink, sir. That's my little conspiracy theory. But from the moment we saw their Autumn/Winter 2022 show, which was entirely this shade of pink, Valentino has been bombarding us with this colour, and they know exactly what they're doing. I think what will be interesting is if we see more brands try to kind of monopolise a colour. Their platforms, as we know, the Tango platforms have been doing very, very well. They're doing them again in the pink for autumn/winter. They're going to be hot, and I think they've done a very good job, whether or not it was a bit annoying the way that they've done it, of having us associate this very specific shade of pink with them. It's coming, be ready for it, get your sunglasses ready because it's quite bright. The last category you're going to think is a juxtaposition. You're going to be like, those two things can't coexist, that's weird. Winter-friendly corsets. Stay with me here. Corsetry in general has been a very big trend this year, especially whether it's something like the Meow corsets, I think that's how it's pronounced. We've been seeing so many celebrities doing this trend as well. But I will say, some brands are really weaving them in a very creative way to make them a bit more autumn-winter friendly. For example, half the Versace Autumn-Winter 2022 show was like puffer jacket with corsets. Dresses like long sort of knitted midi dresses with a built-in corset. Even brands like Alexander McQueen, you've seen my sort of crop top that has a corset in it, they're doing that in a sweater version for autumn-winter. I think we'll see more of these creative ways to get a little bit of boning, and I think also we'll be seeing a lot more layering with sort of traditional corsets as well for the autumn-winter. I don't know, maybe a sodding black turtleneck, first thing that came into my mind obviously, with a Vivienne Westwood corset on top, shirts underneath corsets. I think we'll be seeing a lot of more of that as well. So if you still haven't got a corset and you want to commit, maybe now is the time. Guys, let me know what you thought of my list. I think we've got some interesting things ahead of us. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are, and in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.